and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you. We got a big week of toy news this week as we're getting closer and closer to San Diego Comic-Con 2026, about 2 weeks away at this point. A lot of San Diego Comic-Con announcements talk in this very video, and we'll get to all of it here. We'll get to Todd from the couch. We got the Power Town update. It's all coming in hot. But first, before we get too far, we got to thank the friends over there at jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there. And Jay's, you're going to see some stuff in weekly purchases tomorrow that I picked up at Jay's. A lot of stuff, a lot of Marvel this week. And we've already started to unbox some of that stuff on the channel as well. Should mention, of course, Patreon. This month's giveaway, Ultimate Warrior Papa Shango 2-pack. That will be given away over there on the Patreon. You can even be a free member of the Patreon. Head over there. You get bonus videos, all kinds of different stuff over there. Appreciate the support on the Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. Some people like the YouTube channel memberships. You do get all the episodes of all the different toy unboxings, you name it. You get them early as a YouTube member as well. Appreciate the support. Check out the podcast as well. Of course, the Kyle Peterson Show, available every single Tuesday where podcasts are found, video cast on YouTube. Plenty of stuff going on each and every week over there on the podcast. The latest episode you can get right now if you're a member of the Patreon YouTube channel members as well. A lot going on, as I said, over there. And now another thing, too, if you go to the Kyle Peterson Show, wherever your podcasts are found, you can also get episodes of the toy news like this one if you'd rather not look at my pretty face. And who wouldn't want to? Come on, Todd McFarlane. But if you don't want to look at my face, you just want to hear it, you can listen on your podcast platform. So check that out as well. Available under the Kyle Peterson Show podcast, wherever podcasts are found, once again. But now let's dive into some news. How about? We got a lot to get in, and we're going to start with wrestling as usual. We're going to go WWE. We got San Diego Comic-Con right around the corner, as we talked about. And there's been a lot of rumored lineups this week. There's been a lot of shenanigans out there, as I'm sure you guys, and maybe you gals, maybe a gal or two, have seen out there in the Facebook groups and social media and stuff about some leaked lineups. I had an individual, I'll leave his name out of it, reach out to me saying, hey, I got this from my Vietnam factory. I think he posted about this, and he also reached out to other people, I'm assuming. We know what happens when we assume Todd McFarlane. But I was like, I don't know about this. And I don't like to run with rumors and stuff. We've talked about that on the channel. Every once in a while, we will if we know they're confirmed. It's a dicey thing when you're doing rumor stuff here. So we usually don't talk a ton of that. There's other places that do a lot of those. I don't know. Maybe it's clickbait, as Brian Myers would say. Maybe more on that here in a little bit. But we did hear, supposedly, a rumored Monday Night Wars lineup of The Godfather, Kevin Nash, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Triple H with a Build-A-Figure Stephanie McMahon from their wedding night. If you guys remember that segment on Raw in the drive-up wedding chapel. Steve Ozier did say on Facebook, on social media, we're at the point in time where people are just starting to make up things at this point. So either Steve's trying to cover tracks, which could be, or he's like, what the heck is going on? I don't know where these people are getting these things from. It'll be interesting to see if we hear anything about this at San Diego Comic-Con. Obviously, if we hear nothing about it, I'm sure that means it doesn't happen at all. We'll see where that goes. But I do know, as somebody that works in an industry with new items and new stuff, you don't want things leaked out there. You're trying to be protective of that stuff. So I would imagine if it was 100% correct, I don't think Steve would go on message boards and say, yep, it's correct, that's it. Welcome. I don't think that would happen, but we'll see what happens. I'm not saying it's totally false, but it sounds like it most likely is via Steve, of course, in the message boards and everything else like that. We also heard rumors of apparently 2-pack Monday Night War 2-packs from the same individual. I don't know where that goes either, but it makes sense. That would be something kind of fun, Monday Night War 2-packs. But once again, I'm going to say maybe not, but we'll see what San Diego Comic-Con brings. How about? But those are floating out there, so be careful. I didn't want to run with that and create a video or anything. I figured we'd talk about it in the toy news. So more to come at San Diego Comic-Con, possibly. But there's also other leaked lineups going on out there right now. We did see like Kevin Nash dressed as Arn Anderson and X-Pac in blackface as Mark Henry. People thinking those are actually real. They're obviously customs of some kind. There is no way in 2026 Mattel would release a figure in blackface. I think Triple H was dressed up as The Rock as well. Not quite blackface, brownface. We'll call it brownface from Todd McFarlane. There's no way. And people are posting that as well in different Facebook groups. It's like, that is not happening in 10 million years. So I can put a rest to that rumor right there. There's no way Mattel's doing anything of blackface. They would never do that. So the more you know, folks, the more you know. Live and learn. Live and learn. But we did see, speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, and we do know we got the Cyndi Lauper, Roddy Piper, Captain Lou Albano 3-pack coming. I can't wait to get that one. That's going to be pretty fun to have. It'll go great with the Piper's Pit set, which conveniently enough, on clearance at all Targets right now. So if you need that to go with it, you know where to go to get that. Go over to Target right now and get it. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not a huge Cyndi Lauper guy by any means. I'm not a fan of her music at all, actually, at all. Todd McFarlane is just not what I look for in music. But it is a cultural significance to the wrestling industry. I'm a bit of a wrestling historian via action figures, so it deserves a place. It's not going to be my favorite thing ever, though, I'll tell you that much. But we'll review it when that time comes, whenever that does come here on the channel. And we do know the panel is coming up for San Diego Comic-Con. They did announce Rey Mysterio Jr. Rey Mysterio, we'll call it there. He's going to be there. Danhausen is going to be there. And I would have to think Matt Cardona might be there as well. He's going to be there for the Collect Major portion. You would think he would waltz over there and see. We'll see what ends up happening. But I think that all but confirms we're going to get something Danhausen. It could be just as simple as a render. They could have rushed it, which I wouldn't be shocked, to a prototype stage. We'll get something Danhausen. They're going to announce something. You know he's going to do the whole cursed gimmick. We're going to have the whole show. I guarantee we'll see all that. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if WWE isn't there filming for SmackDown or Raw and show clips of that in the future. I could see that happening as well. Rey Mysterio being there. Maybe that's for Rey Mysterio. Maybe something special. Is there a Rey anniversary coming up? Todd McFarlane said, who's Rey Mysterio? Maybe there's an anniversary coming up. Or could he be here to launch some of the AAA talent into the Mattel line? Could they be getting a sub-series line? Could they be mixed in with the elites, the main events, and so forth? I have to imagine we'll see something AAA related here at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't think we'll have, well, maybe. We could see prototypes. We'll see renders at worst. That's my guess. So we'll see. But Rey Mysterio makes sense. And I could see Matt Cardona doing some kind of a run-in. He's even working with Danhausen on SmackDown right now. They could bring him in for something. Some shenanigans, possibly. I could see it happening. And I also wouldn't be shocked to see a Cardona reveal of some kind. They could easily mock up off of some old ones, almost like a greatest hits type thing. I'm sure they could do that. We'll see where that ends up going. So some exciting stuff around the corner for San Diego Comic-Con. You know we'll be covering it all here on the channel. Can't wait. One of the most exciting times of the year if you're an action figure fan. AEW Jazwares also getting in the San Diego Comic-Con spirit. 101,000 Will Ospreay will be their exclusive this year. As we've said on the channel numerous times, they still have product coming out. There's still stuff. Just because of the whole team got laid off does not mean that that's done. Everything they worked on is completed, so they're done. The factories aren't done. The paint people aren't done. And that's where things like this Will Ospreay comes in. The Mark Sterlings come in. We just saw that Sting figures talking about it last week, Todd. Yeah, it was last week, I think. So we got a lot of stuff still coming. I mean, a lot of stuff, a handful of things still to come, and a few surprises along the way. So be ready for all that kind of stuff. I'll be trying to track down this Ospreay 101,000. We'll see how that goes. Swerve, hard to get, but it kind of got a little easier later on. And then I think they had like a Jazwares Vault exclusive of that, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see where that ends up going. We also saw little big rubber guys. You know they're going to be enforced at San Diego Comic-Con. They're also going to have some exclusives there. Talking about a little controversy here, a little clickbait action. It's so funny. I talk about this week in the podcast a little bit, The Kyle Peterson Show. If you haven't checked it out, Todd, you're going to be a guest here very soon. End of August, I think Todd's joining it, so it should be a fun one. We'll see what happens when that time comes. But we did talk a little bit about a video I did. I've been having to do bonus news. There's been so much news as of late. And I did one that said major disappointment because of all the uproar over the 4th of July releases from Collect Major. And it's so crazy how I had some people taking me to task saying, I'm on Team Major all the time. I'm a shill, all this stuff. I get everything free from them, all this. I wish I did. I think they have about $2,000 of my money. They have double Power Town in for me right now. I have double into them that I have into Power Town currently. They better deliver. They better, but I know they will. It'll just maybe not be as timely as I would like it to be, but it'll be way better than Power Town. But I had people saying I'm a shill for Collect Major. And then I had some people say I called it right down the middle. I just reported it like news, which that's how I felt I did. I felt like I gave both sides of the story from where I see it, and that's what I try to do around here. I'm not picking sides. I'm not saying right and wrong, unless they're Power Town or some others. Some others that do me wrong, Todd McFarlane. Mech and Neck looking at you from earlier this week, if you saw that video. But then I had people taking me saying, you know, Kyle, you're right, Collect Major's good, all this. So it's weird how people interpret these things. And I even had Collect Major kind of throw me under the bus a little bit in response on my Instagram a little bit. So you can't please everybody, and everybody reads into things the other way. And then I think there's a lot of people that just see a thumbnail and they comment without even watching the video. And I see that a lot, and it could be you out there. As you guys know in my reviews, I always say where I got the item from at the beginning. I get so many people, especially this week, where did you get that from? Well, did you watch the first 30 seconds of the video where I said and used code Jays to save 15, or used code Kyle to save 15%? Getting on my soapbox here. But Big Rubber guys coming to San Diego Comic-Con. They're going to have some exclusives. We talked about it last week. We know Mick Foley is coming hot. We know we're going to have Cactus Jack all over the place. This week, we saw some images of the brand new Demolition that's coming out, and somebody got in there real close on the packaging, and you could see the Big Rubber guy's Cactus Jack. So that is officially confirmed. I don't think we're breaking any news. We knew it was around the corner. Heck, Mick basically said so himself. I have to imagine maybe a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That'd be a great way to kick off San Diego Comic-Con. We'll see what happens. And I have to think, they're doing bloody variants. How can you not do a bloody Cactus Jack? That's got to be coming in the future. So we'll see where it all ends up netting out, but I'm here. I'm a Cactus Jack guy. Give me all the Cactus Jacks. That should be coming soon. I'm sure it'll be a lot clearer around San Diego Comic-Con. I'm sure we'll get a lot of announcements. And they've been threatening it for a long time. I think we're going to see a lot of different licenses from Collect Major at San Diego Comic-Con. I think we're going to see outside of the wrestling world. We're already seeing sport mascots. We're seeing movie properties. I think we're going to see both of those, and I think we'll see different stuff as well. So it's going to be very exciting to see where they go. They're at a very interesting point in business right now, putting my business hat on. They're no longer a small company. They're not a super large company. They're kind of in that in-between era and keep growing. It'll be interesting to see what their zenith is, what their potential is, and if it's always dangerous when you walk outside of the wrestling window, you try to diversify that portfolio, it can come back to bite you. So it'll be very interesting to see where Collect Major goes over the next couple of years. I'm here for it, though. I enjoy most of the stuff that does come out, as you guys see when I review them here on the channel. So there you go. Grapplers and Gimmicks this week, a huge week for them. Our good buddy Mitch over there did a live stream on Instagram. He did show off one sweet, sweet sapphire. What, Todd McFarlane? When you were a younger man? How young? 20s? Okay. Yeah. Oh, really? Todd McFarlane had a huge crush on Sapphire back in the day. I can see you two as a couple. You and Sapphire would look great together. I can imagine. That would be an all-timer of a couple. But Sapphire coming. I'm excited for that. Sweet, sweet Sapphire. Always loved Sapphire. I thought it was just crazy as a kid. I loved the Ted DiBiase, which he joined with him. I don't know. It's one of those wild things. You had to be there, I think, maybe, or the right age or something. But I'm here for a Sapphire. That's a day one purchase. Kimchi, a great one. I love the addition of the Kamala mask to go with it. Gives a little bit of a nostalgia thing with the Hasbro, mixing Kamala into the fun. I'm here for that along the way. We got Brooklyn Brawler. We've been teasing that for a while. We got Brooklyn Brawler coming. Val Venus, an interesting one. I don't know. For some reason, something's off on that head sculpt for me. I don't know. I got to see it in hand, I think. Shane Douglas, the franchise. Give me all the ECW talent. I'm an ECW kid. I'm here for that. We also saw Regium. We saw the Quebecers and Rougeos. We saw some updates to those. We saw Gangrel, Al Snow, and Raven. So we got some updates there. Looks like a lot of constant learning, constant improvement on the Regium. We talked about Raven last week with a little better articulation, a little bit smoother compared to the Godwins. Can't wait to see where these all end up going. We know we got Mark Merrill coming, Ahmed Johnson. There's a lot of Regimes in the pipeline. Very expensive figures. It's one of those things you can't get too much out there because people might be turned off if there's too much. Well, I can't get any of this. It's too expensive all at once. We'll see where it goes. And I have to imagine Grapplers and Gimmicks will have some announcements around San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of the smaller toy companies, even though if they're not going to San Diego Comic-Con, are going to throw some announcements out there for us. I would expect Mitch to do the same thing. Which leads us to KWK, who is going to have a live stream. I believe it is with Fully Posable on their YouTube channel. Check out the Fully Posable podcast. Good Oakland A's brothers over there in Jeff and Scott. Sat by them at WrestleMania, Todd. You weren't there. You wouldn't know. But we sat by them. We saw Johnny Knoxville going crazy. It was a wild time. You had to be there once again. But their KWK, Sean, will be on their podcast with all kinds of announcements from San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll cover all of that when the time does come. But he also showed this week Bertha Faye. Oh my gosh, going back to the 90s, of course. Get me that Harvey Whippleman back out from Grapplers and Gimmicks. And then we got Samurai del Sol coming out. Of course, the former Callisto with many different variations on paint for both characters as we're used to. And we also got updates this week on the Great Kabuki, having some decal issues on the face, trying to get that face paint right. It's so crucial to get that face paint right. I can tell you, I'm a guy that's a brother in paint, of course. And then we got Tenru, which looks really good. Now, I don't know how well Tenru will resonate over on this side of the United States or this side of the world, maybe. But Tenru was a heavy hitter once upon a time, and I definitely have memories of him, but I'm not sure everybody does. So we'll see where that ends up going as well. But all looking good from KWK. And then in a little bit of a plot twist here, Pro Wrestling Tees have announced on Monday they're going to have an announcement about their O-Ring toy figure line. I passed on those. Those didn't really interest me that much. They looked a little bit rough, and from all reports, they were extremely rough. So I passed on them. I think they're going to be updated and improved. I guess we'll stay tuned to see what the announcement is on Monday, and we'll cover it on the channel next week in Toy News, apparently. So we'll see where that ends up going. But if you're into O-Rings, you're going to have something beyond just KWK very soon. We saw Zombie Sailor Toys just teasing us at this point with that Owen Hart. I think that was supposed to be here back in February. Delay, but apparently shipping out very soon from Pro Wrestling Tees. And I should have my AEW Big Rubber guys any day. I think maybe tomorrow as I'm filming this. So we'll unbox those on the channel. Hopefully my Owen is right around the corner as well. We'll stay tuned for that. And then an interesting one, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, LJN Rocky style figures from the Stallone shop. Showing a lot of teasers this week over there, even packaging images. This is a line I would like to collect, put with my Big Rubber guys, but you can only collect so much. So I'm not sure where I'm going to net out on this. I guess next step, I want to know what the price point is, and then we'll make some decisions from there. I feel like I need Clubber Lang Mr. T at least in my collection, but we'll see where it ends up going from there. But it should be exciting for a lot of Rocky fans out there, Big Rubber Guy fans, LJN fans, etc. Could be very interesting to see where that all ends up going, and could it go to other Stallone properties? Could we see that? Stop or my mom will shoot? Maybe. You never know. We need an Estelle Getty Big Rubber Guy. That's what we need. Somebody get on that ASAP. Give me the Golden Girls. Get me all of them. But there it is. Whoa, stop the clock. Kyle from the future breaking in, and we had some late-breaking wrestling news on Friday evening. What are we doing, people? I filmed this Friday afternoons, but here we are Friday evening, and we got two announcements. First, from Matt Maniac's Nerd Closet, we got another Macho Man Randy Savage, but we got the King Macho Man Randy Savage, pretty in yellow too. Summertime is a great time for a little yellow coloring. A very cool looking Macho, a different colored Macho, and one that really is going to pop on the shelf. So I'm very excited for that one. Looking very, very good. And then Epic Toys out of left field with an AEW talent. Very interesting here. My hat, my business hat tells me if Dustin Rhodes can get Epic Toy retro figures, what's stopping a Big Rubber Guy at this point? So I think Dustin Rhodes is out there on the open market as far as getting action figures, and Epic Toy is going to be the first one here. Get one that's very Galoob inspired from, of course, the UK Galoob line from WCW back in the day. Very, very cool. And then we got another version of Dustin Rhodes. Got to get the most hated Dustin Rhodes molds, of course. Looking good in yellow. And I loved the natural Dustin Rhodes when I was a kid. I loved him in WCW. Him and Sting and Flying Brian, some of those young guys around that time were just amazing. Love Dustin. I wish we could get him in that like 8-ball jacket. Oh, that was height of fashion back when I was a little kid. But very cool to get Dustin Rhodes from Epic Toys. Really makes me excited for the future of Dustin Rhodes and what other things we could get from other toy lines like Collect Major, Zombie Sailor, KWK, Grapplers and Gimmicks. Who knows? Sky could possibly be the limit. So we got two late breaking, whoa, stop the clock news. Wrestling news this week. Oh yeah, you're right, Tom McFarlane. We got one more piece of news. It's time for the Power Town Update.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering?
All right, it's time for the Power Town Update. And if you've been paying attention, and you better be paying attention. What, Todd? You're too poor to pay attention? It happens to the best of us. But you guys all know that Steve and Donnie from Power Town have been vacationing in beautiful Ibiza. Yes, Ibiza. I don't even know where that is. Is that France? I don't even know where Ibiza is. But we got footage last week from good friend of the channel, A1's own Mark Reed, hooked us up last week with some footage he filmed with his cell phone, just very conveniently for us. Really appreciate that. But we did see the Ibiza trip there, 2 weeks off Power Town. Those guys have been working their hands to the bone, as we do know, getting those Power Town figures to us. I think they're 2 years late at this point. 2 years late. What's a promise? Promises are made to be broken, right? Yeah, something like that. But Donnie and Steve came in hot this week, and they sent me a personal message. They said, Kyle, we want you to know, now I wrote this down here, you got to go to the Wrestling Collection website. I believe that's wrestlingcollection.com. They do sell Power Town figures. We've talked about them in the past. We even had a good friend of the channel, Christopher Rogers, embedded down there in Gulf Shores, Alabama. He went and knocked on their door, and we even filmed the whole thing. We did have that in a Power Town update like a year ago or so, and they basically, everybody in there said, well, we're waiting just like you guys. We don't know what's going on. So that's investigative journalism you get around here, around the Power Town situation. But we did do that. But the Wrestling Collection has a huge sale. Steve and Donnie did make sure this sale would go through. And if you're after collector coins from Power Town, and I know you are, they're 50% off. You want a Matt Cardona coin? Only $10. You need Stan Hansen in your pocket? $10. You can get the Power Town coins. Originally only given to friends and family. Now they are going to sell them. They're going to blow them out, and you will save. So check out Wrestling Collection. They also have limited stock of the broken Power Town figures at deep discounts. Could be the cheapest cost you'll ever get on these Power Town figures. Head over to the Wrestling Collection today. Pick those ones up. And in a bonus, Todd McFarlane here, I did find out if you do take your Matt Cardona coin, and I believe some of the other ones will work, but I know 100% the Matt Cardona one does work. If you take that Matt Cardona coin to any Applebee's in the continental United States, sorry, Hawaii and Alaska, you're not involved for whatever reason, lawyer stuff, I think. If you take your Matt Cardona coin to any Applebee's in the country, you get one free appetizer. You just put that coin down, no questions. You just tell them which app you want on there. You want that big cheese? You want to do a big cheese pull at the table? It's on Matt Cardona's coin. So remember that if you're dining at a fabulous Applebee's over the next couple of weeks, you get that coin, you get that free appetizer. What, Tom McFarlane? The appetizer's cheaper than the coin? Semantics. Semantics. We don't care about that, but check out the coins if you're after it, and I am sure next week we'll have some huge Power Town updates, and I can only imagine they're going to wow us at San Diego Comic-Con. A huge booth, all kinds of stuff. It writes itself at this point. Shout out to our friends over there at Power Town for never delivering and keeping a segment alive for 2 years too many. But now, as Jerry Reed always says, if you can believe it, there's more news outside of wrestling. We got other stuff to talk about, more San Diego Comic-Con stuff, and that's where we're going to start. We're going to talk about G.I. Joe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Playmates, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It is Snake Eyes and Timber, a.k.a. Razar, apparently is what they're calling it. Leo is Snake Eyes as well. Will be an exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con. I have not seen these in person yet. I said I'm totally out on them, and that's where I'm sticking to right now, but I don't know. I don't know what happens. If I long game it, do I get them on clearance? I don't know. It's weird. I like Turtles, and I love the Joes. It just doesn't work for me, but maybe when I see them in person, maybe there's a hot sale. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned to the future. But the future's now for that exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con. It's at like the UCC booth, which is a dangerous booth. Super long lines. I had to stand in those lines one time to get Squishmallows for my kids. I don't recommend it. Unlike Applebee's, I recommend their appetizers every single day. So shout out to Applebee's there. Real One should really sponsor the channel. I don't think they will, though. But anyways, moving on. Masters of the Universe. We keep on playing all the hits with Masters of the Universe. We unboxed this week on the channel the Battle for Eternia playset. It seemingly has been a Masters of the Universe unboxing almost every single day on the channel. A lot of stuff going on. And even more stuff going on Friday, as Target did put up for pre-order Teela and Skeletor, or is it Tigra? Way crazy on the packaging for that one there. It's got the Thundercats packaging on Skeletor. There was a mistake somewhere from Mattel, but we got both those two coming to the origin style from the movie. Crazy it took this long to get Skeletor. I'm shocked they didn't do He-Man and Skeletor in the first series, but here we are. Get your pre-order in over there at Target, of course. We also saw Orko this week, the Chronicles edition. I think as I'm filming this, pre-order ends Sunday. So if you want to get your Chronicles Orko, and who doesn't want a Trollian Magician, you got to go over to Mattel Creations and pick that one up. Also this week, it did go up for order. It did ship out. It's Toraton. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. a big four-armed bull. Can't wait to get that. I think that's supposed to be coming Monday for me, so expect that next week, probably sometime. And then the most underrated toy line of the year, one of the funnest toy lines of the year this year, is the Masters Universe Core Edition, the $10 or so figures. We got 2 announcements this week here. We got Translucent Skeletor. You had me at Translucent Plastic. And then you got Ram Man coming to the adventure. So can't wait to dive into both of those on the channel when the time does come. And that's it for He-Man this week. But we move over to our friends over there at Mondo. Announced another 4-pack for San Diego Comic-Con. It is the Ghostbusters 4-pack. They're all in the same uniform. You got the ghost, you got the accessories. Pretty darn cool idea with the translucent green kind of slimed heads. I don't know. I have been buying the non-premium edition of these Ghostbusters. I got 3 of the 4 done. I'll complete that. I'm actually thinking about picking up this set. So we'll see. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to pray on it, Todd McFarlane. I might. You never know. So we'll see where that ends up going. We got those coming around the corner. We also got TMNT Sofubi style Ninja Turtles there. Some people saying, man, I like these better than the original releases. You get the trench coats with these. I'm not really a Sofubi guy, so it's a nice thing to admire from afar, take a look at, but I'm going to pass on those. But both are going to be available at San Diego Comic-Con online. You'll have to get your order in. The whole rigmarole, we know how that goes. And then out of left field this week, a fun one. We talk about them on the channel every once in a while. It is Savage Crucible, some amazing figures from Savage Crucible. This week, they're putting out Great Dane figures, is what they showed images of. Very, very cool idea. Shout out to Savage Crucible for thinking out there. I always think of them as kind of Mythic Legions adjacent, but I think this is a tremendous idea. I think there's a lot of dog lovers out there. There's a lot of Great Dane lovers, and I think there's meat on the bone here. If they'd make more articulated animals, you could almost make every single dog. You want a Labrador? You want a Papillion? You want a Chihuahua? You want a Corgi Poo like Lemmy, Ace, and Domino? They could make all those things, and I think there would be buyers across the board. I think people would collect their specific breed. There are people that collect all of them. I think there's money to be made there for the Savage Crucible team. I love outside-the-box thinking, and that's what they have here. Have it as a regular Great Dane, or have it as an armored-up Great Dane for your Savage Crucible figures. Very smart. I like the idea of this. So more dogs, please. That's what I'm going to say. San Diego Comic-Con, speaking of it again, can't believe this. I am not going, and I'm very frustrated about it. You know, the work-life balance, it's tough. It's getting involved here. Story for the podcast, I guess. But Bruce Dickinson, yes, Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden will be doing a free autograph signing at San Diego Comic-Con. Are you kidding me? The time I don't go, I get to miss out on Bruce Dickinson. But he will be there. You got to get your badge, all that kind of stuff. It looks like you just have to go to that booth and get in for the signing. There's only so many wristbands. It's not that lottery thing that always goes on. So, man, oh, man, if you want to meet Bruce Dickinson, you're a real one. There's no doubt about it. So check that out. NECA this week, not a lot to talk about, but we did see Donnie from Fortnite. Yes, Donnie from the Ninja Turtles. These Fortnite Ninja Turtle figures are very intriguing to me because they're so creepy. There's something so creepy about them. I really do like them. So I'll probably end up picking up that Donnie figure. Who knows? I'm worked up. Todd, it's hot in here. I'm sweating. I see my forehead glistening. I'm glistening like my wife, Angie. She does that sometimes. But it's hot down here. This is a thick Western shirt, of course. Maybe I'm fired up. Maybe it's my blood pressure. Maybe it's time for the heart attack. It's like 100 degrees outside, so maybe my air conditioner's not keeping up. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sweating to the oldies like a young Richard Simmons down here with all the toy news. But man, somebody needs to pat my brow. I feel like James Brown. You know, James Brown would get that cape on him, but then people would pat his head, of course. That's kind of what I'm like here today. But I'm going to see it through. So if you see some sweat, you see some sweat pooling up here, that's how you know you're a real one when you do stuff like that. But we're not done. We got more to talk about. We got a lot of McFarlane to talk about here. And Todd, of course, you and your secrets this week. We're going to talk about Todd's secrets. But Todd, it was very nice of you to invite me to the shindig there at San Diego Comic-Con. Unfortunately, I cannot go, but I did get invited to the Skyline thing. But this time, I got no +1s this year. What's going on, Todd? No +1s? I think I could call in Angie. That's what was my plan. Next year, I think Angie's going to go to San Diego Comic-Con with me, and I'll definitely get a +1 with Angie next year. I'll have to call in a favor. Got to call in a favor. I've been known to do it a time or two. But that is coming. They'll get to see some new stuff there. That's always a great time. Todd puts on quite the shindig there. Got to meet Todd there. Remember Todd? That's where he first really broed out and hung out and stuff. That was a great time. It was a great time. We'll never forget. Never forget, but Todd's got that going on again this year. But Todd this week, all kinds of announcements, old school style, people just finding them in the store. And then as the week went on, we got some official announcements, but still not all official announcements yet. But we did see brand new Page Punchers. We saw another Superman. You got to have Superman in the Page Puncher variety. We saw Cape Season Two-Face Billy D. Williams. You know that's the hits I want. Give me that one. I can't wait for that. We saw a Batman with the big ears again, and we also saw 89 Batman again. I don't know if there's any differences. That could be a pass for me. We'll see where that ends up going. We did see Hawk Girl, Poison Ivy, Wonder Woman. People finding more and more of those. We did see some official glamour shots of those this week as well. So if you're after those, they should be hitting your Walmarts very soon. Not mine, but maybe yours. And then finally, from the regular DC Multiverse this week, we saw Black Adam. I believe we've already had this one out there before. We saw Sinestro looking very good. Red Chase Platinum Sentinel. I really like that one. That's probably my favorite of the bunch. We did see Brainiac, which is one a lot of people have been wanting this version of Brainiac. For me personally, I want the Kenner Superpowers Brainiac, the robot version. That's what I think of when I think of Brainiac. That's how I was introduced to the character. I would love to see that. Kid Flash, I feel like we've had this one already, if I'm not mistaken. We got Black Mask Red Platinum, a very cool looking one is a Red Platinum. We got the Question back out there. One of the hardest to find figures from McFarlane over the last couple of years. I saw one at retail, never saw it again. Very happy I scooped that one up. And then one I'm very happy about it because a couple months ago, I did a top 5 most wanted McFarlane of figures I missed out on that I need to play the long game and try to find. This was one of them. It's Beast Boy, the former San Diego Comic-Con exclusive coming back out. Does not have all the accessories this time, but it is that figure. So I'm happy to report I will pick that one up. So Todd coming in hot, even if he didn't. It's just word of mouth at retail. People finding these at their Walmart stores. Your mileage may vary as usual, but be on the lookout over the next couple of weeks here. As Todd works to finish up the line, say it ain't so, like a young Weezer, but here we are. But that is the toy news this week. What are you interested in? What are you hoping to find? What are you excited for? What do you think is going to happen at San Diego Comic-Con? You think any big announcements are coming? We'll probably dive into that in the next week or so on the channel as well. So more to come on San Diego Comic-Con coverage and daily coverage during the event. We'll see how that all ends up netting out. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and my other YouTube channel. Don't forget Patreon. Don't forget YouTube channel memberships to support all the content. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, Kyle Peterson Show. Each and every Tuesday, my wife Angie and I break it all down. And yeah, we did a special anniversary edition last week, Todd. Angie from the pool. 1 year ago, Angie broke the internet, and we'll never forget. So we reminisced a little bit about that. Check that out as a special 4th of July video if you missed it last week. Angie appreciates it, or maybe not. She doesn't like you. She doesn't like you ogling. Todd, you're always ogling, but there you go. Check that out if you haven't already. And check out both of my books available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It is The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstars series by yours truly, both available right now, hardcover and softcover edition. So for another week of the toy news, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another weekend.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Got the money, honey, I've got the time, and we'll go honky-tonkin'. See you later!